Hi guys, so it's Princess Maggie here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to do an Elsa makeup tutorial. So Elsa is probably one of my favorite makeups to do. She's not one of my favorite characters to play, but her makeup is awesome because it is very unique and it really pops when you put it on, and also you can have a lot of fun with it, with a lot of highlights, a lot of sparkle. Stuff you don't get to do in everyday life, you get to do as Elsa, which is really cool. So I really love doing her, and yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So step one, whenever you're doing any makeup, is put on your lip moisturizer. I use Vaseline. Yes, I'm a petroleum jelly type of girl. So you're gonna do lip moisturizer. The reason for this is, number one, you do not want your makeup to cling to your lips when you start applying like base coats and stuff like that, and also because you do not want chapped lips when putting on lipstick, especially a red shade like Elsa wears. So my suggestion would always be add the lip. Next we're gonna pop in with a primer. Now I use the Revitalizing Face Primer from Mina. It is one of my favorites. It's very soft on your skin, and well, I just absolutely adore it. So you're just going to apply that evenly over your entire face. I do use my hands for this step, but it is up to you. You could use a beauty blender as well. If you are using your hands, be sure to wash them, of course. As with any kind of makeup that you might apply, just wash your hands before and make sure you're clean and sterile before doing this step. I'm just going to apply the layer right over your face. This helps just for your makeup to last longer, and it protects your skin a little bit because it does have SPF 30, and anyone that does princesses will know that being in the sun for too long means you get a red Elsa, and that's not fun. So next you're going to jump in with your normal base coat, or I don't know what else they call them. Like I said, I'm not a professional, just doing this for fun. So I don't use anything special. I literally just look for the lightest shade I can possibly find and try and avoid animal cruelty. So most of my brands, I try to avoid animal cruelty at all costs. So I love Essence, and Mina is pretty awesome, and then organic brands are also pretty cool. So you're just gonna dab. So for today, I'm actually prepping my makeup for a video. Usually I would go in and I'd really be like really crazy on the base and the powders and the stuff, because you don't want any imperfections. You want your skin to be absolutely flawless and looking fine. Because we are princesses, and princesses are perfect, right? Princesses have no faults. Well, today we're being a queen. I don't know what to call Elsa anymore. She's really confusing to me. So next is a concealer. I use a concealer stick. This one is actually pretty cool. It's an LA Girl one. It has a little bit of a sparkle in it, so I use it for a lot of the princesses as it's like the base for my highlighter later. So I especially applied this under my eyes, and then on any dark spots I might have, but this one is especially great for around the eyes, just to brighten them a little and even make them look bigger. As with princesses, you always want bigger eyes. And you're just going to blend that and make sure you have no lines or anything like that. But yeah, so that is our base layer for our makeup. So next is the fun part, the eyeshadows. So Elsa has this really awesome way of wearing her eyeshadow in purple and pink and really bright colors. So I absolutely adore doing this because it is amazing. I am trying to go a little more in the pink direction. I used to go a lot with purple. So this is a eyeshadow palette that I've probably had forever, but it has the most beautiful purple shades I have ever seen. So for Elsa, I usually use this one over here, and then also this one. They are my favorites, and these two are also pretty cool just for a few touch-ups. So usually I'll start in with a very pinkish purple, so it's between those two I'll actually mix them and get that purple pigment that I'm looking for. I do not like going too pink and I don't like going too purple. So that's why I mix. So you're gonna apply this right in your crease, and you can really go for it. Like, don't be scared, like just apply it like crazy. Like, it's okay, if you feel like a drag queen, you're doing it right. Remember, when you put on your wig and your makeup and everything, I mean, like, drag queens are beautiful, don't get me wrong, I love you guys to bits. But if you're doing your makeup for Elsa especially, and for most princesses or cosplays in general, when you put on that wig, the makeup disappears like 50%. So yeah, so you're gonna apply that in your crease right over there and really go for it. Like I said, don't be scared of adding too much. Like, yes, there is a too much, but you can also always take away if you have to. Currently it's like very Ursula-ish, but it'll become less, don't stress, guys. So then I'm just going to go in with the pink again, because this one came out very purple. I'm going to pop in with the pink just on top of that, just to make it a little pinker, because the purple needs to pop more on the lid itself, and then the crease needs to be a little pinker. Then I'm going to go in and I can blend either with the back of this brush, which has a nice little blender, and then I'm going to just blend that in. I sometimes, well, most of the time I actually use my fingers, because I feel like I have more control over it in this way, but it is up to you. And you do have to remember that if you are using your fingers, never use the same finger that you use for the purple and the pink for the brown makeups, because that might be a minor issue, because then you'll get these messy colors, and that's the exact effect that we're trying to avoid. So okay, so for our next step, we're going to pop in with the purple. Yay! So in my purple shades, I have a palette here. I'm also not sure where I got it, but it has all these pretty purples and blues, and I absolutely adore it. So we're going to pop in with the shade over here, which is a beautiful purple. It's very, like, it's a very light purple, in terms of it's not lavender, so it's more towards the red spectrum than to the blue spectrum. So that's the one I prefer. And you're going to apply that on the lid. Just a nice purple. Check if that's perfect. And you want yourself to be perfect at all times. Like, when you're putting on your makeup, you need to try and copy the character as much as possible, because you are keeping all of the magic for these kids, and you want to be perfect every time. So I'm just going to pop in with a little more of the pink color, because my pink is fading into the purple now, and it is bothering me a little bit. So pink. Okay, so now that you have your purples and your pinks, I've been saying P a lot, and it's just like purple. I feel like Pepper Potts. It's such a weird, I'm sorry guys. So now I'm gonna go in. Now this is my lighter brush. I use it for the lighter colors that I apply on my makeup. Now for this, I am actually popping in with, this is an awesome eyeshadow palette I got from Essence in their Christmas Advent calendar, which, like, it has these beautiful colors in. They also do have a palette available that has all of these shades in, and it is probably one of my favorites. Like, I use it for Anna, for Ariel, sometimes a bit of Ariel. I use it for Belle, for Merida, Moana. All of these characters can be done with this one little palette. So it's very, very nice for all your natural colors. I literally only had to get purple for some of the characters. So for Elsa, Tiana, Mulan, they still wear purple on their eyes, and then had to get green for characters like Tinkerbell. But there I have that one rainbow palette, and I have this one. So if you're going to invest in two palettes, it's this one and a rainbow palette. So with this one, I use this shade over here. It is the nicest, most natural, like, skin toned shade I could find in the world. So with this one, I actually apply it like right on the bridge of my nose, because it widens your eyes a little. Elsa has these like very wide eyes, so it just widens your eyes a little if you apply it right on the bridge of your nose. And then you're going to take it up. This is a great way to tidy up your eyeshadow if you've worked a little messy. Like, you can just apply this one and then just tidy up that look a little. Also apply it where you are going to do the highlights of your eyeshadow later, and right underneath your brows. Ooh, Afrikaans accent, it is coming through. And now we're gonna pop in with the highlight. Now for highlights, I have a few options. There are sometimes you can use like a beigeish, goldish thing, and then the other options are to use pearly whites. So I'm gonna use a very nice, this one over here has this pinkish pearl, which I am pretty crazy about. I'm just gonna apply a touch of that right under my brow. And then I'm also going to add a little touch right here in the middle of my eyeshadow, just as a little highlight. Now this is just the white underlayer. I am adding a highlight later with the rest of my highlight, but we'll get to that soon. Now the other thing with Elsa is that she does actually have a little bit of eyeshadow at the bottom of her eye, which a lot of the princesses don't do. She also wears darker eyeliner at the bottom, which I will get to later. But yes, that's the one thing that's different with Elsa than other characters. So you're gonna apply that right over here, the bottom, just a little. Now this is the same purple-pink combo that I used at the top in my crease. Okay. So now you might have noticed that I didn't use my pressed powder before I did my eyeshadow. Now the reason I did that is because I prefer to do the pressed powder after the eyeshadow, so I can tidy it up a bit, especially if I didn't tap off my brushes, the excess, then I would lose some of that makeup, some of that detail at the bottom. So I just tidy up my makeup with my powder. Now I use a very, very light powder, but it's still not light enough for Elsa, so I usually double it up. So I'll go in with my powder, and you'll see it still like yellows my skin slightly. A lot of people don't believe this, but I actually do have quite a dark skin naturally, but I avoid the sun like crazy because I want to stay pale and like nice for the princesses. Just gonna take an even layer all over, and make sure it doesn't look cakey, because like you do not want it to look cakey. And remember to blend it into your neck and your ears. A lot of people forget about their ears, and then they have these really red ears against this like light background. So yeah, so for today, because I am doing the video, it seems that with the ring lights and everything, this shade is actually light enough. Otherwise, I would take a translucent powder and just take it over this one, the white translucent powder. It just lightens the makeup a lot. Okie dokie, so we have our eyeshadow, we have our powder, next is the details. So with the details, I'm talking about contouring, blusher, highlights, all of those fun stuff. I don't do a lot of contouring with Elsa, but I do some. I'm just too scared to add too much bronzer, because then she's gonna look brown and you want her to look very, very light. So I do use powder, so the same pressed powder that I use for my face, I use a darker shade of that for my contour. I find that it blends much better than your mousse-based concealers that are used for contouring. So I go in just touch, just like a little bit, because I have a very, very round face. I do feel a little more comfortable with adding a little contour. I know a lot of people don't do contour at all with Elsa, but it's my preference. So you'll have to check what works best for you in terms of this. But yes, like I said, a light contour is my preference. you're gonna go around your hairline, but the reason for this is it makes your wig just look a lot more natural and it makes your face pop a little more. So that's what I do for contour. Nothing too special, just into your cheekbones and then around your hairline. I don't contour my nose at all, but that is once again up to you. And so for next is our blush. Now blush is, to most Disney entertainers, or like I know the face characters, they also have this comment about pink cheeks. So pink cheeks is what it's all about. You're gonna pop in with your blush. So I like this one because it has a bunch of shades. I'm not sure what brand it is. Like I said, I don't have a lot of brand loyalty. It's just whatever I like, as long as it's animal cruelty free. So I usually, like you can see, I usually use the darkest one, but right now I have this one, which is a little lighter, and then there's this one, which is, it's got like a bluer shade to it. So if you're gonna go with a little more of a blue pink, if that makes sense, I mix them together and then I go into my cheek and I take it up a lot and I use it to contour a bit. So I just use it to like intensify that contour of mine and then go onto my cheek and then onto the apple. It's very important to have pink cheeks. I don't know, I feel like it just makes kids more comfortable when you have pink cheeks and you're like this warm and cozy, like nice person, and it's just, I don't know, so special. I'm gonna go in with the pink, and I also do a touch on my nose. I do a lot more when I'm Anna, like I make my nose, top of my nose like super pink because it makes her look like she's cold, but it's also like she's so calm and collected and like all controlled and perfect in every way. So yeah, that's me and Elsa. Next I'm gonna go in with highlights. So this is also the highlight that I got in the advent calendar from Essence. It is lovely. It has this really nice gold tone. I do apply it with my fingers sometimes because I have a lot more control over it, but with Elsa, like, you can go crazy with the highlights, like really go in there and make yourself shine. Like, shine. And for the reason that you want yourself to shine and look beautiful and fresh-faced, like glowing, you want to add a lot of highlights. And for this I have this, which is, it's like a powder highlight, so it's a very loose powder, but it's like bee-based. Now this one has this like really nice, almost like iridescent type of effect to it. It has a purple iridescence to it, which is amazing for Elsa. So I do apply that. But do be careful because it can be too much, and also be careful if you do have bags under your eyes, because we are students and we work hard. We are tired sometimes, and that's okay. So I add this one to the top of my eyeshadow as well, just because it adds that little magic that you're looking for. Magic is important. And you're also going to touch into the middle of your eye. Into the middle. There we are. So that's like, it just brightens you up so much. So I absolutely adore this highlight. It is magical. And then the other thing that I usually do, and I do this at a later stage, is glitter, which I will get to soon. But keep your glitter at hand, purple glitter. So the next thing I'm gonna pop in is, the hardest part for me is brows. I'm really not too great with them, that's why they're like, I'm not great with my eyebrows. So I do darken my eyebrows a lot, even with characters like Elsa and Anna, because it makes you much more expressive to darken your eyebrows. So I use an eyeshadow and then I literally just fill in my brows just to darken them and make them a little more defined, and also balance them. I'm also very lucky that my eyebrow shape isn't far from Elsa's, because Elsa does have a very distinct eyebrow shape, and I'm very lucky that it's very similar, and you can try and mimic that if you want. You can really try and mimic her eyebrow shape, but if you're not in the mood for that, you can just jump in and do that. And then I once again take the lighter shade that I used earlier to tidy up my eyeshadow, and I use that to tidy up my brows and also to emphasize the fade, because the fade is stunning and it makes you look like you know how to do your makeup. So I literally take that light shade and I tap it on just to create a fade in my eyebrows, and then, like I said, you can also tidy it up just with that, just around the eyebrow. Just tidy up your brows. Here we are. This looks so crazy right now, but as soon as the eyeliner and stuff gets added, you will see, and then the wig comes and you're just like, what? That is not the same person who had all of that makeup on. It really looks like that. So the next thing we're gonna jump in with is liquid liner. Now I know this is the part that a lot of people fear for the life of them. They are so scared of liquid liner and winged liner especially. I use Michelle Ory's Paris V liner. It is really nice. It says lasts 24 hours, but I've fallen asleep with this sometimes and it doesn't come off. So if you do want it to come off, just put a warm cloth on your face and then you can literally wipe everything off. It's amazing. Okay, so the reason I love this one so much is because look at that little tip. Like, it is beautiful. So with this, okay, so I'm not gonna grab my mirror here, and I'm not gonna like look at you guys terribly because we want everything to be perfect. So you literally, I try and start as close to my eye as possible, because you can always put more, but you don't want to put in too much and then have to take away. So I go in and I literally just start with the line, following the line of my eye. Lining it all around, after which I will jump in with the wing. Now to achieve the wing, I usually take this line and I lift it slightly and I just straighten it. And that's how you get the wing. I like a friendlier wing, so I tilt it upwards, but a lot of people look better if they have a straight wing. It looks, I don't know, it looks weird in the beginning sometimes, especially if you're not used to it. But once those lashes are added, you're gonna be like, I cannot believe that this looks so normal. And then you're just gonna pop in with the other eye. Like I said, first follow the line of your eye and then do the wing. Whew. Sorry, I'm sitting on the floor and my feet are dead. This is a normal occurrence for me. But you'll notice the moment this eyeliner is added, like, it just like, it makes the makeup look so normal. It is the weirdest thing to me, like, eyeshadow without eyeliner looks so abnormal, and then you add something more abnormal and it looks more normal than it did before, and you're just like, what is magic? Sorry, I have a lot of comments regarding makeup and I bubble a lot. Almost. One side needs a little more. Balancing your liquid liner is probably one of the most important jobs And just making sure that it's not too much, not too little. It really is so important to have balanced eyeliner. So yeah, so that is your liquid liner, and now I pop in with a normal liner. Now I've recently started using a brown liner. It's a very dark brown liner. It's also Essence's Kajal Pencil Teddy color. So I've started using brown. It is a dark brown, but it just seems a little softer than using a black liner. A lot of people do use black liner, and I used to use black liner for a really long time, and it's no problem. It works perfectly. So I absolutely don't like the line between your liquid liner and your normal eye. So I usually go in with my pencil and then just fill in that little line. So it just looks like you don't have that gap. Ooh. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, is Elsa does have the bottom liner. So with that, I do not do this one inside the eye, I do it just below the eye. It helps enlarge your eyes slightly. And there. Then you have this, like, I don't know, it's just a very badassness of Elsa that not a lot of other characters have. You can really, like I said, you can go crazy with her in terms of glitter and all of those things. So our next step in the lineup will be lashes. Now I know lashes are another part that other people fear so much, but I'm here to tell you that it's really not that crazy and it's not that hard, and you can do it. It's not difficult. So I really love these lashes. They're Eylures Taylor Woods La Baby lashes. Now the reason I love Eylure so much is because they are so lightweight, and like with Princess lashes, I had a bunch of other stuff before. I've tried the Kim K ones. I have I've tried every lash you could imagine because I want the perfect lash, because I feel like lashes are what gives you the lashes are what give you the princessy edge. It separates you from just being a normal human being to being a princess, and it helps. I like wearing lashes, especially for parties, because it helps keep dust out of your eyes and a whole bunch of stuff. So it just works really great to use the lashes. And these are lightweight, they help stop dust, they help with the sun, and they give you that princessy edge. They're lightweight, they have a really nice thin band. They look super natural, as you'll see in a few minutes. But yeah, so when you take your lashie, make sure that you know which ones are the right ones and the left ones. These do have a pretty large difference between the middle and the outside. The outside is a lot thicker and longer than the inside. So I also use Eylure's eyelash glue. This is their Lash Fix Clear Fix. Now I know a lot of people prefer using a black glue, but I found that the see-through one works better, the Clear Fix. So you're going to apply some glue to that band, and literally just to the band. I do add a dollop more on the edges to make sure that those edges are stuck down. And you're going to put it down and wait for it to dry a bit until it's sticky and tacky and nice. You're going to add a dollop at the edges, and then the other important thing is to stretch your band while you wait for it to dry. So you take it and then you bend it slightly like this. It's important to do this because otherwise the ends have a tendency to pop up, and that is like the worst feeling in the world, is when a kid notices that you're wearing false eyelashes. It's like, oh, I can't believe this. Okay. So as soon as you'll notice this one, once it starts getting tacky, it also goes a little see-through. So then you're gonna go in, you're gonna drop it on top of your own lash just so it gets its natural position. And then you're going to stick down the ends. Okay, so ready with the next one. You're going to take it. You're going to drop it on your own lash. So it creates its own natural position. Then you're going to push it down. And look at that, like that white glue is not even showing a bit. Like, I know that's the biggest worry for a lot of people when they use a white glue, is that the glue is going to show. And it doesn't. Okay, now I have made a little mistake with this one over here. It is a little too high at the edges. Like I said, never be afraid to redo something. I'm going to take it off and I'm going to restart. Again with the glue. You'll know it's too high because it doesn't align with with the liner that you put on. If you stick it down on the liner, it'll last like the whole day. But if you don't stick it down on the liner, it'll get stuck on that eyeshadow, and because eyeshadow is powder, it'll come loose. So this is just a tip for having it last longer and look amazing all day long. You want it to stay like that. And already you can see like the difference between my eyes. Like this one just pops more, it's just bigger, it's so much better. Even my eyes look lighter, which is a big, like, I have a thing where I wish I could wear contact lenses, but I can't. So I really want to look into getting me some because I would love to be a blue-eyed Elsa. Okay, so drop it on. Yeah, that's much better, much more balanced. Now, if there is a little bit of a gap between your lash and your eye, I think this one has one little teeny tiny bit. I do fill that in with an eyeliner. Once again, I grab my liquid liner and I fill it in. It's like, make sure that your lashes look natural. Don't want this black line to start out of nowhere. So there we are. Lashes done, and we're just about done, except for lipstick. Our next step is gonna be mascara, which I use this Intense Lash from Yardley. It is amazing. It's like, it doesn't melt, which is great, and it doesn't smudge. We get a lot of heat here in South Africa, so yeah. And with mascara, once your lashes are applied, just use it to stick your own lashes to the falsies, because you don't want 2 rows of lashes. Okie dokie, so that is that. And we're just about done. Now your next step is going to be 2 parts, lipstick and lip liner. So lip liner to me is very important. It helps your makeup, your lipstick last longer, and just helps it look more polished, and helps you to shape the lip before you apply the lipstick. So you're gonna go in, and I do not like overlining because I do have very thick lips. I usually underline a little bit, but not too much. So I try and go as close to the edge as I possibly can. And I fill in my entire lip, like. And try and get reference photos and look at Elsa's lips. Try and mimic them as much as you can. Other characters like Ariel and Moana don't have like a middle part of their lip, and that's that's literally what you're looking for. Like, you want to look as much like that character as possible. So if your makeup can help you do that, then go for it. Make your makeup make you look like that character. As long as it doesn't look scary. And you look pretty, because kids love pretty girls. Princesses, like, everybody knows they like Elsa not because she is strong and independent. They like her because she wears sparkly dresses. Well, some kids do like her because she, like, I literally had one kid tell me, no, I like Elsa because she don't need no man. And I was just like, who told you this? Because you are adorable. So, lip liner done. The entire lip, see? Now, this is far from the shade of lipstick that I'm wearing, because I like going with a very red, very pink lipstick for Elsa, because, like, it just... In general, wearing redder lipsticks for the characters or darker lipsticks makes you more expressive. And you want that. You want the kids to watch you and be like intensely fascinated by you. So they want you want to focus on your lips and your eyes. So they need to look at these because they are expressive and they're going to show the emotions that you need to. So with lipstick, I have this, like, it is a gorgeous shade of red. I sometimes use pink. It is up to you as to what looks best on your skin. This one also looks really amazing when you're doing the Show Yourself Elsa, the one with the loose hair and the, like, spirit Elsa at the end of Frozen 2. Yeah, so lipstick done. Now, I know you can't see me in the wig yet, but this is what my makeup looks like so far. There's just one more step, and I mentioned it earlier, but glitter. So I've got this, like, it is beautiful, like, look at that, it's this purple glitter. Now, the reason I do this last step is because I have noticed that if you do glitter with your eyeshadow before you do your eyeliner and your lashes, they tend to, like, loosen those pigments and just, like, make it all look all messy. So I do my glitter, like, right at the end. And I take some of the glitter right on my finger, just dab it onto my lash. I like glitter because it just, like, adds a little magical flair to the makeup. While you're talking to the kids are just like, oh, you sparkle, like, why are you sparkling? You're magical. And that's what you want, like, you want them to be like, ooh, that's, like, you look different. So as soon as I'm done here, I will be showing you guys. I'm gonna go put on my wig, and as you see, like, I've already got the attitude going. So yeah, I'm gonna go get my wig and my dress, and then I'll be back when I'm done. How to put on a wig. It is an art, and especially if you have, like, really long thick hair. I know a lot of, like, we all have really nice hair and we want to keep that safe. We don't want it to be damaged in the process of putting on a wig. So what you're gonna need are a few bobby pins. It doesn't matter what type of bobby pins, it depends on what your preference is. Like, sometimes a longer one works, sometimes a shorter one is better, but I'm literally gonna try and do this with 4 bobby pins today, and let's see how it goes. You're gonna need 4 bobby pins, and then your wig caps. So I always do 2 wig caps. Now, a wig cap can be a stocking one like this one, which is the ones you usually get, and then they also have these ones, which are like the fishnet ones with the hole in the other side. I don't actually like these so much, but I know a lot of people prefer them, so you get that. And then if you can't find anything, you can use the bottom of pantyhose and just chop off the legs, and you can sew these shut if you want to, but, like, it doesn't really matter. So you're gonna start off is dividing your hair in two. I used to braid my hair, but I've noticed that it works better to just literally wrap it around my head and try and get it as flat as possible, and then just stick it down with a pin. And then it doesn't have to be the most secure fit ever, because your hair is going to be stuck down with the cap. So just make sure you don't have any hair sticking out, anything like that. And you're going to go in on this side as well. Make sure you stick everything in. Okay, so then you're going to pop in with your first wig cap. You're going to try put all of your hair in it. Be sure to check the back and around your ears, because those are usually the parts that we miss in terms of the wig cap placement. And then take it down a little lower than your actual hairline and where the wig is going to be, and then pull it up. Now you'll see there's still some hair all over the show, but that's not an issue because you're going to go in with your second wig cap. This is a trick I got from Alison Tabitha, and since I've discovered it, it has saved my life so much. Another thing that you can do is, if you still have these baby hairs and stuff showing, you take a glue stick, like Bostik or Pritt or whatever. You take a glue stick and you literally go over those baby hairs with your glue stick, similar to how you would cover your eyebrows if you were to redo your eyebrows. And then, sorry, I have a hair somewhere, it was bothering me. Okay, so then after you've added the glue stick, you're gonna go over with your pressed powder and your base coat and everything like that, and just cover your hair a bit. Because if you're doing blonde characters especially, I know it can be quite troublesome having to cover your hair and making sure nothing's showing. So make sure, especially around the back, I know it is hard, but try and stick that in as much as possible. And just make sure your hair isn't showing at all. Over here I still have a little hair sticking out. There we are. So then you're going to take your wig. Now when it is on the head like this, it is perfectly styled and it needs to stay in this style, because we don't have time to restyle the wig every time. I do use got2b glued, so I have to hope that that'll last, but your wig is perfectly styled and you want to keep it that way. So that's the goal. So you're going to take it both in the back at the elastic, this little elastic. You're going to take it and you're going to pull it off like that. Then you're going to place it, take it in the front, but don't press on the bangs. So there's a little flat part over here on Elsa's. So I'm doing Elsa specifically because she is actually one of the hardest wigs to get on. She is a lace front, she has all kinds of tricks of the trade. Then just adjust it until you are happy with it. Now with the hairline of these wigs, the goal is to always put it lower than your actual hairline, because if you place it too high up, you're gonna have, let me show you, if you place it where your actual hairline is, your head looks giant, you want to place it lower. If you have a tiny forehead, that's okay. Apparently that's normal in the Disney universe. Now you'll notice that in the back some of the hair is still visible, especially here, really not nice, and you don't want that. And also of course this front is still standing up. Okie dokie, so these fronts and this back, you're also going to need a few bobby pins to add to that to help you out, and then glue stick. Once again, glue stick is your best friend when it comes to wig styling, well, wigs placement, I guess, because it washes off easily. It is a very easy product to find. So this side of the hairline looks fine to me, so I'm not gonna hassle with it too much. But then this side is lifting up. I'm actually gonna go in with my glue stick and go all the way down. I know some people use wig tape. I found that wig tape isn't that nice to me, so I prefer my glue stick. It was my savior in the beginning of my company, and I still believe in her. And the cool thing about using glue stick is that like it literally becomes one with your skin. I know prosthetics, visual effects people use glue stick for a lot of their stuff, so it just works really great to stick down your hair, and it looks so natural after that. Like, look at that line. Like, it is an invisible line. I look blonde. And so after that, because I was speaking about this back, like you don't want to show hair in the back, because kids are like, I can see your hair, that has a wig, and you've been working so hard to like not show the hairline on your wig. You can also, if you want, like use a hairdryer just to make this dry quicker, but just try to have enough time to make sure that your wig sits perfectly on your head. Okay, so then you're going to take this back part. Now I also always style the wigs with a looser part here, so when you pull on it, you'll notice it doesn't influence the style of the wig at all. And you're going to take a bobby pin, stick it in there, make sure it's like really tight, and if it's stabbing you, like that's normal, beauty takes pain, girls, like, and you're just going to stick it down, and look at that, like, looks much better, right? So I always do that in the backs of my wig, and then I also do it sometimes with some of them. I do it right here above the ears as well, but with this one it's not that necessary. Like I said, if it's stabbing you, you're doing it right. So yeah, that is what Elsa looks like. It is a very complicated wig, and it does have like these little sideys, which I do prefer. The other wig for Elsa has short sideburns. Those sideburns will be stuck down, and you can actually do it with this as well. So I'm going to take these sideys, literally just glue a bit underneath it, just stick it down. For some reason it just makes things look more natural when it's stuck down to your head. So just stick it down onto your head and make it stay there. So it just seems more natural, more normal, like you could do anything right now. I mean, it's not moving, like, she is stuck. So you'll also notice most of our wigs are on like the tightest setting possible. This is because I don't want you to, for example, be on a jumping castle with a kid and then like fall or something, the wig slips off. I fell at a party and everything was still intact, and I was just thinking like, oh, imagine your wig falls off or something like that, like it would be the worst. But yeah, so that is how you put on a wig, especially the Elsa wig. I can do this with each of the princesses if you guys would like, and comment down below which ones you'd like to see. What my Elsa looks like with my makeup. So as you see, like I said, the makeup just simply like fades in once you put on the wig, and it looks much more like normal, not over the top. I don't know what it is, we call it cosplay magic, and yeah, that is how your Elsa makeup tutorial works. I hope it helped, and I hope you guys enjoy doing your Elsa makeup. Stay magical!